Hey guys, and welcome to day 10 of the July Scrapathon event. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, there's links to the Facebook group and to my introductory video in the description below because I'm trying to film this really fast so I won't get into too many details. So check those out to see what it's all about. So today's challenge is called Monochromatic, and as you probably guessed, all you have to do is choose one color and all its shades and mix it with some neutrals and make a page. So basically choose one color and you can use all the shades of that color you want. And then you can also use neutral colors like black, white, gray, brown, and so on. Okay, so this is also part of the series I'm doing with Marloes because it's a Monday again. So I will be using the kit that I shared last week, and so will Marloes. So I hope you go check out her video. I can't wait to see what she came up with. Don't forget to check out the Facebook group for a chance to enter the grand prize, for a chance to enter to win the grand prize. And also, I'm hoping it will be a place where all the members will be able to interact and share what they're creating. And also, April Lilli store, which is our sponsor for this event. Check out her store. She has a great store, and check out the blog because she has a great design team which come up with fantastic layouts and pocket pages and traveler's notebooks. So head on over there, and I will let you see my process now. So thanks for stopping by.
Okay, so I'm going to start by pulling out all my pink papers and the black and white papers because they qualify as a neutral. So I chose pink because for some reason this kit had a lot of pink in it, and I thought I could use a lot of different papers, and I was really in a mood to use tons of papers on this page because I had just made a bunch of layouts that had like maybe not even one piece of paper on them, and I just wanted to layer and do really crazy paper amounts on this page. So anyway, I pulled all of those papers out, and then I am going to, this is a picture that has pinks in it as well, so I just decided to grab that. And I'm literally just taking papers and cutting them with my scissors. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just taking what looks good. And I'm not even thinking about anything. So I was too bored to get my trimmer out and measure stuff, so I'm just using a ruler. And it also gives it a little bit more of a better interest when I use a ruler, because you get this torn edge, and I don't know, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. But for this layout, I was feeling very torn edgy, sort of. I was in a mood. So anyway, okay, so if you've seen the kit share of this, I'm using this paper kit. So if you've seen the kit share, you probably know where all these papers are from, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Again, so the black and whites are from a Mark Love 8.5 by 8.5 inch paper pad by Heidi Swap. And then, so this is the diagonal pink stripe. And then there's also the cloud paper, and the cloud paper is from a paper pad from Tiger, and the polka dot paper is from, sometimes I buy these paper craft, I think it's called Paper Craft Inspirations. I think it's a UK based magazine, and it's mostly cards, but they have freebies with them, and when I like the freebie, I might buy the whole magazine. So that is where that paper came from. I don't know what company it is, so yeah. So what I did was I tried to get a good mix of black and whites and pinks, so the pink wouldn't be too overwhelming, and the black and white helps separate the different patterns, because I love all of those patterns. So, and then I wasn't really liking, there was some yellowish tones in the photo I picked, and it was kind of, I don't know, it was killing the nice bold black and white contrast thing. So I experimented picking some other photos, but then I was just like, what the heck, I'll just use this one, because nothing really else was really working, and my printer didn't have any ink in it. So yeah, so I didn't even bother gluing this down. I'm just getting a stapler just to keep them all in place, because I knew the second I moved them, I would never get them back to the same place. So I just stapled in the center where I knew would be covered up a couple of times. And that's it. So I thought that the photo was getting lost, and I thought maybe I could if I lifted it on some foam, which I also chose to be pink, by the way. I have multiple colors. Anyway, but I didn't like that either. You can't really see it on camera, I think, but I didn't like the foam. It gave it too much of a lift, I guess you could say. So now I'm kind of stuck because I'm not really liking how the picture is looking with the layers, and I love the layers. So I tried that picture again because there's a lot of pink in that picture as well. But yeah, and then I decided to do something really risky. I decided to cut out the negative part of this photo and sort of just have it like a magazine cutout, I guess you could say, or like just my sister's face, like the important elements. And I was really skeptical about doing that, but I do end up liking it because that gets rid of a lot of the yellowish tone in the background. Her hair still, she's blonde, but that's not really the problem. The problem was the yellowish undertones. So then I thought about adding some tissue paper, and I didn't like it behind the photo, but I thought it would add some interest if I put it sort of like on the background. That tissue paper is from IKEA. Now, here's where everything goes wrong. I started layering all of this tissue paper onto the page because it's a very light pink and there has to be a lot of layers for it to actually show that it's pink. So I am going to put heaps of this tissue paper onto the background paper. All that is going to be glued down onto there. So I did speed this part up more than the rest. I don't know if you can tell, but it is a bit sped up. Anyway, so I'm going to staple all that together because I had this idea that it would add like a texture and an extra pop of pink. Well, not pop, but a subtle sort of pink. And you can see, like, it's so high, there's a shadow behind it. I don't know what I was thinking. And then I wanted to do mixed media, and I did that from the start of the layout, like as soon as I started layering stuff. So I just decided to do that before doing anything else because, well, basically I had the idea that I was going to incorporate the tissue paper with mixed media somehow. That did not work. So there's what I did. So I did the packaging technique with the pink watercolor, and now I'm going to glue down all that tissue paper. And then I'm going to use a brush to kind of stick it down. So when you get it wet, it kind of sticks down. Now the one side it worked okay, and then the other side, because the tissue paper has two sides, and the one's kind of like a slick surface. So the one on the left was the slick surface side on the top, so it wouldn't absorb the water so well. So it just looked really yucky. So I stuck down another piece there, and I'm gonna do the technique again. And as you can see, this is not going well. This is I don't even know why I do these things sometimes, but it's just tissue paper, so I don't really mind when I decide to. Oh, wait a second. So then I re-glued that down. I lost the whole shape of it. Then I can't even watch. See, that looks just horrific. Oh my god. So I decided to go with it a bit. So I pulled in these that same stripe paper, and I'm cutting it and ripping it in half, and I just wanted a bit of black to separate all that pink again. So when there's a bit too much pink, I would bring in some black. And I still do not like that at all. The tissue paper is just, oh my god. I'm seriously, I don't know what the heck I was thinking. See, that just looks like a huge. Okay, I've been talking about that huge mess for too long, and now I just decide I'm gonna rip it off and be done with it. But then it was stapled, it was glued down with an ATG, it was glued down with liquid glue, so I just ended up throwing that whole piece of paper out. And it's just tissue paper that I got from IKEA, and I rarely even use that shade, so I don't feel too bad about it, but I feel bad that I wasted, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes of my life doing that. And then I come back again with the tissue paper to see if maybe I want just a little peek of it. So I'm trying to salvage as much of that as possible. And I do end up cutting. I do cut on like another. No, actually I don't. But you see, that just doesn't look good either. So I'm just going to toss it in the garbage can and move on. But I do fidget with it a bit. See, that I don't know why I even did that. Yeah, sometimes I do crazy things. But I left it in so you could see the whole process and maybe not try that yourselves. Because I do enjoy watching other people's full process, and it's just kind of fun. So anyway, so for this time around, I pulled out this chalk. I wanted to add mixed media on the background, so I've got a new piece of cardstock. And this time I pulled out this chalk that was just a lighter shade of pink other than the watercolor. And I'm just scraping off the pigment because you can't really draw it on packaging. I don't know. So I'm just adding some water to it, and it's like barely any color on there, but I like how it looks. So yeah, I decided to go with a sort of lighter color just because I do have that bold pink already on there and I love it, and I don't want the background to distract too much from those paper layers. So then I pulled out these Wonder Thickers, and they're black, which makes them neutral and also adds more black to the page, which I have a lot of black going, and maybe bringing some down to the bottom was it's a good idea. So anyway, I'm just gonna spell out my sister's name because I thought about spelling out Snapchat, but I already have a layout named Snapchat, and they might be close together in my album, so I just went with Sylvie. Nothing really, just okay. So now these are the Maggie Holmes, no, these are die cuts from the Value Pack by Becky Higgins and Maggie, and it's sort of based on the Notes and Things Maggie Holmes collection. So I stuck that little die cut behind like where my sister's like neck, like there's a little like groove there, as you can see. And at first I thought that was kind of weird, but I just decided to go with it. And then I'm putting around some of these other pink items. So there's those two tags. I'm gonna add one at each side. So the one says good times and then the other one says lovely day. But I don't want them to line up. So one of the clusters is gonna be towards the top, and then the other one's gonna be towards the bottom of that block of the black paper sticking out. I don't know if what I just said. I don't know if I understood what that meant, but you can see it. So, and then I remembered I had some pink pieces in the desktop Project Life waterfall pack. So I pulled that out, and I used just one of them, that one that says beauty down there with that work hard or whatever, not whatever, die cut. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I don't know why, I cannot find my words today. Yeah, okay, so now I'm taking some of these Tim Holtz words to kind of add, because there's both black and white, and I think this is the first time I used both black and white on the same page, and I really like how they look. So I'm just taking some words, and they're not really like, some of them are kind of random, or general, so it's like everyday, memories, family, forever, again. So yeah, I'm adding 2 black ones in each of the cluster and a white one. And then I decided to do my journaling because I'm not sure what else to add at this point. And the journaling is just how about my sister, who is 6 by the way, discovered Snapchat, and I seriously, since then, I have not seen her one day not using Snapchat to take a picture. So that is basically what I am writing there. And I'm using a Staedtler pigment liner in a 0.3 tip pen. Tip, yeah. And then I have to glue all this stuff down because nothing is glued down. So I edited a lot of that out because I didn't really do anything other than glue. I didn't do anything other than glue. So I used a combination of that Yuhu glue that's liquid, so I could scoot things around if they didn't go where I wanted them from the beginning. And then I'm also going to use my ATG to kind of glue down those layers because the only thing that's holding them is staples and they're flopping everywhere, so I'm just gluing them down. There's my ATG gun, which is also pink. There's a lot of pink, and I don't usually use so much pink on pages. I was surprised that my monochromatic layout was pink. Okay, so I think that about completes it. Now I'm gonna add some splatter. So as you can see, there's barely any mixed media showing through because I didn't do a lot. So I'm adding some splatter, and I'm using my watercolors for that. So it's a darker shade, and I'm not sure, I don't really like that. So I sort of, what is it called? I use a paper towel to dab the splatters up. And then I felt like there was barely any paint on the left side. So in just a bit, I am going to add some more with the packaging technique over to the left cluster there. So I did use the watercolors instead of the chalk, but it's so fine. So everything was glued down now, like really glued down with a gazillion layers of HG glue or liquid glue. So it was kind of hard to get the paint where I wanted it to go, but it worked out okay. So then I thought I could add some of these pink sequins, but I wasn't really liking it, so I'm going to take them off. Yeah, I did fuss with them a bit before I decided to get rid of them. Okay, what am I doing now? Now I'm gonna add, I think just one of those rhinestones are going to stay. One in each cluster. So I originally started with 2 in each cluster and then 1 at the bottom, but I think I'm just gonna leave 1 in each cluster because it was getting a bit too much. And now I decide I'm going to border this whole thing, so I'm using the same pen I used for the journaling, and I'm going to do a double border for the layout. And you see, I don't do borders perfectly, but they're messy borders and I like them. So here are some close-ups. I hope you like my layout, and I hope you make the decision to participate in this challenge with us. So don't forget to check out Marloes' video and join the Facebook group for more inspiration and a place where you can enter to win the grand prize. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.